Hey everybody, it's Vaultbox here. I apologize for the appearance. I just got done working out, but I wanted to come on here and answer a question that I've been getting a lot in my comments as well as my DMs on Instagram. And that question is in regards to two of the videos that I made in the past where I'm talking about using UV resin that you typically use in a resin 3D printer in order to coat over your FDM printed parts in order to get rid of the layer lines. A lot of you have reached out and said that you've been trying the method and everything seems to be going well up until the part where you need your prints to cure and you've had your prints outside for like all day, or you've had them underneath your UV light all day and they still seem tacky to the touch. And I finally figured out why that is and how you can fix it. Believe me, I am right alongside with you guys learning things, and I wanted to jump on here and show you how I fixed it. So let's get on into it. So right here, I've got the end of a 3D printed sword from Attack on Titan. And what I have done already to this is I painted on one of those layers of UV resin, and then I did the trick that I'm about to teach you. So as you can see, I'm handling this perfectly fine. It's not tacky. It's a little bit shiny. You can see that it's filled in a lot of the layer lines. It probably needs like one more pass of things or just a little bit of sanding, but it looks pretty good. In order to show you this method, you're just going to need your ABS-like UV resin. I've also got a pair of gloves here. I'm going to put those on here in a minute. You're going to need some 91% isopropyl alcohol. You can have either 91% up to 99%, but it needs to be 91% or higher. You'll also need a paper towel. A Bounty paper towel I find works just fine, but if you have shop towels, it's probably even better. You're also going to need a plastic cup for you to pour in your UV resin and a chip brush or a foam brush. I'm just going to be using this foam brush here in order to paint on our layer. And you also need a UV resin chamber. I've got my handmade one over here that I will have a future video on sometime whenever I edit that, or you can just place it out in the sun as I said before. So let's get on to the tutorial. First thing you're going to do is just take your ABS-like resin and pour just a little bit into your cup. You're not really going to need a lot of this stuff. Whoop, missed it. Hold on. This is actually kind of a good thing that that happened. So I'll show you how to clean that up. All you need to do is actually just take your 91% alcohol, put it on your paper towel, and put it on top of that. So it looks like in my really good pouring job that I got just enough of the UV resin in there that I'll need. As you can see, there's really not a lot. So now what we're going to do is take our little cup of resin, dip our chip brush in it, and just paint layers onto that. And I'm going to put the camera down, and whenever I'm done painting this on, I will be right back. All right, so I'm back here and I've got all the resin painted onto my piece as I wanted to. It's a really thin layer. And one point that I should make is make sure you go with like the grain. As you can see, my print lines are kind of going horizontally, and better to go horizontally with the grain so that you're not creating a lot of these air bubbles. Like, you still will have them, but it's okay. They'll be able to be sanded away later once we cure this. So now what we're going to do is take this piece that has a thin layer of the UV resin on it, and we're going to put it into our curing chamber, or we're going to put it out in the sun wherever we are choosing to cure our piece. And I'm going to let this sit under there for 15 minutes. Now you could let this sit for shorter amount of time if you want. You can do like 5, 10, 15 minutes, see how your pieces are curing. But I find that 15 minutes is a good happy medium, and it's just enough time for me to hop on my bike and do another exercise before I come back and show you what to do next. So gloves are really hard to put on whenever you have sweat on your hands, so no excuses. So right here, we've got our 3D printed piece that we painted that UV resin layer on, and I also threw in the UV resin that was left over in the cup under here to cure, because you should not throw away uncured resin. So that's just a really quick way to cure your resin, is put it in your UV light chamber, and it'll also tell you whenever your UV resin is cured. And as you can see here, pretty freaking cured if you ask me. So let's take a look at this 3D printed piece. Now that I've got this out of the UV chamber, I'm going to show you something, and I think that this is what a lot of people are experiencing. And this is whenever you pull out your piece from however long you've had it in the chamber, it's really sticking to my glove. And you can also see kind of, not really fingerprints, but little markations on it caused by me, you know, repeatedly touching it like that, and also an Aries hair. But this is actually cured, and I will go into this in more detail in my video for next Wednesday. But this is cured, and this outermost layer still has partially uncured resin, because the resin that we use here, whenever it's exposed to oxygen, it basically is unable to cure. So what we need to do is remove all that uncured resin, and how we're going to do that with this. You're gonna take this 91% alcohol, basically saturate it, and then all you have to do is take your towel and just wipe all over the print. The more you wipe, the more residue it's going to take off, but as you can start to see it drying, see how it's no longer tacky? That means that it's taking away all of that excess resin that we don't want on there. I'm just going to give this a couple more passes. Now, as you can see, it's already starting to dry, and right here you can see that's kind of matte. It's no longer sticky. So it's taken away that resin residue that we don't want there. And that's what was causing your prints to still remain tacky, even though they were technically cured. And you're basically ready to either go out and sand this, you can sand this down, or you can just hit it with some filler primer, and then get to painting up your prop. Anyways, guys, I hope that this video helped you out. I know that it was a little bit of a short video, but I just found it out and I really wanted to share it with you guys. If you still have questions regarding the UV resin method, then please leave them down in the comments below. I will try to address them in next week's video. If not that video, then I will address it in a later video. Like I said before, I am learning right there alongside you guys, and I just want to share the knowledge as I get it. So I will catch you guys next time. Bye!